Yotam Ottolenghi, thank you so much for making time to speak to us. How are you and how have you been passing the time during the pandemic?
Yeah, I'm okay. I mean, it's been unusual and weird, like for everybody else. We have come out of lockdown as of June, so things are looking a little bit more normal. Kids are going back to school in a couple of weeks, so it's less lockdown than it used to be, but it's still a very unusual period.
Judging from social media, many people spent the lockdown period cooking and baking. Why do you think that was?
Well, it's kind of, I think there's a bunch of reasons. I think cooking and eating are the best way to break down the day, punctuate the day. There's just like normally we go to work, we go to school. There's other ways to break it all down into kind of more bite-sized pieces. But, when there isn't all that, then the meals become really important. I think that's one observation that I had. Another one is that I noticed people are really keen on learning or reacquainting themselves with new skills. And cooking is such a basic skill. And with all the time that people had at home, they kind of combined the necessity of having to cook those meals with those skills. And I've seen people doing really weird and wonderful things, learning how to make sourdough or pasta from scratch, all sorts of condiments, tons of baking.
I found that I was baking some things from my childhood, like things I hadn't eaten in years, like custard tarts and things of that nature, which made me wonder if there was a comfort eating component to it all.
I think so. We're all stuck in our homes. There's very little distraction, and then you kind of connect to things that are very basic. We've been baking hot cross buns in Easter. We never do hot cross buns. It just seems, I don't know why, but it was Easter and we were in lockdown.
What's your favourite comfort food?
Well, I guess it will really have to be connected to my childhood and also the time that I've been spending with the kids. So we've been eating tons of pasta, and that's the least original comfort food you can imagine. But I think it's the one that we all connect to because it's very easy and it's very easy to make comforting.
Your new book, Flavour, is about vegetables, and it's your third on that theme. Some people might think, well, how many ways are there to cook vegetables?
I write in the introduction to the book that I had the same worry. Well, I've been having this worry for many years, and every time I surprise myself and the vegetables surprise me, there is really an infinite way. I almost look at it like music. There's all the notes, and you'd think like there's a limited number of combinations, but then once you've listened to so many types of music over the years, you realize that there's an infinite number of combinations.
A lot of people these days are vegetarians. A lot of young people, in fact, are vegans. There are plenty of people with food allergies. There are lots of people who choose to not eat certain foods for political reasons. How do you approach all of that when you're coming up with your recipes for your books and for your restaurants?
For me, the number one priority is really just coming up with the best killer recipes that I can think of, things that are just wonderful to taste and eat and really tingle the taste buds and make you go like, wow, that's something that I haven't had before and haven't tasted before. I think that would do the majority of the work for you rather than talking or rationalizing why it's good to eat vegetables, what are the reasons to eat vegetables. A lot of people do that. It's easy, it's easier if you've got a prime piece of aged steak, because then you just need to sear it and add some salt and you're kind of almost done. And vegetables take a little bit more effort. But I think there's just so much versatility in vegetables. You can just do so much more with a celeriac, with a cauliflower, even with a kohlrabi, than you can do with a piece of prime meat.
The lockdown and the pandemic have been incredibly difficult for restaurants. What do you think might be the lasting effect on the industry?
Well, we're kind of in the eye of the storm, so it's really difficult to say what the future will look like. And I've been listening to a lot of people struggling to give answers to this question, and I'm finding myself in the same position. On the one hand, it really forces us to be very innovative, creative, like we always are. But what will be the lasting impact? I don't really know. I feel like human nature is just so much about getting together in a group and eating together. I think it's like in our DNA. I don't think this is going away, but I think human instincts are just stronger than that, and we will all gather together at some point. The question is just when.
Yotam, it's been lovely to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lee.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 7:30's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.